global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
The meeting between Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar had unsettled the entirety of APC as they crave to know what actually happened. What did they discuss? What was their final conclusion and all of that? But most people are suspecting that it may likely be an issue of major. But shockingly, Atiku had been the one to let the cat out of the bag as he opened up to Nigerians about what they actually discussed. You'll be so shocked that Atiku has made up his mind to support Peter Obi, though he gave some conditions. And this is quite interesting. We're going to be looking at, the interview that was granted him by BBC Hausa, and also me and my colleague, we're going to be talking about what he said. Now, according to the news, the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar met with Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, in the 2023 general election in Abuja earlier this week. The meeting sparked speculations about a possible merger of some opposition political parties ahead of the 2023 general election. In an interview with the BBC Hausa Save is Monitored, Atiku Abubakar explained the reason for the meeting. Now, these were the questions that were thrown at him. The first said, you had a meeting with Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the last general election. What was the reason for the meeting? And in his response, Atiku Abubakar said, it's just a normal friendly meeting that we often had, particularly we in the opposition parties. Such meetings are healthy for Nigeria's democracy and for the country's interests. Another question thrown at him was, people are saying the meeting was to form a merger or alliance between your party, PDP, and Labour Party. Is that possible? Atiku Abubakar responded, yes, it is very much possible. We can merge to achieve a common goal, so it's possible and nothing can stop it if we so wish to achieve that. Another question thrown at him was, but the choice of presidential candidate might frustrate the effort. He says in his reply, that is not true. That challenge will not arise. I can tell you that the choice of who will fly the flag of the party won't arise. And then another question was, why do you think so? He responded, he said, I don't think so. I know so. Believe me, the challenge will not arise. Or are you expecting it to arise? Just believe me that it won't arise. Now the key question comes. What if it requires that both of you and Peter Obi drop your ambition and support someone else? Will you and others support that? And then this is his epic reply. He said, I have said repeatedly, and I even said it before the 2023 general election, that if PDP decides to zone the presidential ticket to the south, or southeast specifically, I won't contest it as long as it's the decision of the party. I will abide by it. But I contested the 2023 presidential ticket because it was thrown open to all members of the party. Then the person threw in another question. So if Peter Obi, being from the southeast, is the choice, would you support him? He said, if the party decides that it's the turn of the southeast and Peter Obi is chosen, I won't hesitate to support him. The next question was, how is the major talk going? We are still discussing the issue, and in the right time we will make our position known. Another question was, when will you conclude the decision? I can't disclose that for now because it's not yet the right time to do that. After the 2023 pre-election, you were expected to be quiet and observe, but you are still playing the opposition. That was the next question thrown at him. Atiku Abubakar in response said, yes, we can't keep quiet and watch things go wrong. People are suffering, and we are committed to making Nigeria a better place. It means you are not tired of politics of Nigeria? Not at all. I am still in active politics in Nigeria, at least as long as God permits. Another question thrown at him was, people are expecting you to give space to younger ones considering your age. He now replied, my age doesn't stop the young ones from testing their faith. Everybody, irrespective of age, is allowed to aspire to be anybody in the society, politically or otherwise. Another question he answered was, so there's the possibility of you contesting 2027 elections? And he replied, but that would depend on the decision of my party. I can't make any categorical decision on that. It's the duty of the party to decide on the way to go in the next election. But your interest is still there, and they ask him, and he said, until that time comes, let's just wait and see how it will turn out. Another question asked him was, people are interpreting your recent meeting with various people as watering the ground for the next election. And in reply, the political juggernaut said, it must not be interpreted like that. I must not be eyeing election to have meeting with political friends and associates. Currently, we are practicing democracy in this country, which we fought for and with our blood. Many people lost their lives in the struggle. As a result, we would continue to ensure that democracy is strengthened in the country. We can't watch from the sideline as things are getting bad. Those were the words of former presidential aspirant of the People Democratic Party and the former vice president. My colleague is in the house. We want to talk about this. Quite interesting. Atiku Abubakar has made some very strong statement that in event of it being thrown to South and the Southeast, he will just sit by the sideline to watch, and whoever emerges, if it is Peter Obi, why not? He will give him his utmost support. But most Nigerians believe that's a political statement. What's your position on that?
Well, something similar happened in 2023. Towards the end of the picking of the primary tickets, it was thrown totally open. Whether you want to say it is wicked that did it or not, one thing is certain: it was supposed to be zoned to South, but it was thrown open, which means anything and everything is possible. At some point, Peter Obi did complain about the dollarization of the process. Dollarization, because they were throwing enough money, and he's a businessman. He worked hard for his money. He doesn't have that kind of lose money to waste, so he opted out. So what's the possibility that the same process will not start, where they have to just pick some strong key player holder and say, open up that tickets? We just let him come. We need his welfare. We need his goodwill. Peter Obi right now has goodwill amongst all the opposition. He's the only person that have a goodwill and a name, and any party that he goes to will automatically inherit that goodwill. If he leaves Labour Party now for PDP, automatically Labour Party will come down. The whole Labour is simply because Peter Obi is there, and they need him back. Right now, they are in desperate need of Peter Obi than they even need themselves.
Yes.
Because he need that good. Because when he comes, they say, yeah, Peter Obi is back. But
block of votes are going to
come in. The youth, some of them will get disgruntled, but they'll say, he will stick. Now, the whole matter will now be a case of, okay, if you are going to come in, I'm looking at 3 dimensions now. If you're going to come in, if you don't zone this ticket to you again, what happened the last time it likely happened, whereby they will encourage you again to leave? Which is totally not too good for Peter Obi. So he needs to take time to make his decision. So that he does not keep appearing as if he's undecided. Today you are here, tomorrow you are there. We see how confused. Is that how confused you are going to rule Nigeria? All of that matters to him. And secondly, if he's going to come in there, he must never take the vice presidential role. Now, if he's not going to take the vice presidential role, they give him the bulk ticket of making him the president. He's going to sign some very nasty agreement. I can perceive it. We are going to give you this. We'll give you all our support. I'm going to give you this. I may not be able to come in. Okay, maybe I'll give you my own person to be your vice or something. But these are the terms and conditions. That. This sector of the economy belongs to me. Forget integrity. Deal. If you say deal, okay. Tap. So by the time he's going in as the president, if eventually wins, he's coming very handicapped.
They are the ones ruling the
exactly. The same criminality wants to dismantle. They're the one that brought him on the wheel of criminality. He came in. So you see him now pretending, looking the other way while things happen, pretending as if it is. So it's a very serious situation for him.
Now, I've always been asking that question: is it possible for Peter Obi to be the president of Nigeria under the wings of the youth support without the influence of these top politicians?
It's very possible. It begins with now. Those winnings, you see, Rome was not built in a day. If you must get it right, the winnings start from today. In fact, from the very day we finished the last election. What do I mean? The likes of INEC chairman. Who is going to be INEC chairman? No longer should the president nominate INEC chairman. We should be the one to appoint INEC. It should be put on vote. Give us names. We will even be the one to give names out, so that now INEC should not be under the subjection of any executive arm. It should be independent, solely monitored and decided by the Nigerian electorate, so that by the time he goes in there, if he makes the mistake of doing anything funny, we kick him out before time.
Well,
that's one. Two, everybody guard your vote. You can collect the money, do you understand, but guard your vote. Then on the point of, if it looks as if there will be glitches on that day, let everybody have supporting this thing to give. But it's going to be a tussle of the youth fighting the structure of criminality.
you've spoken so well. Let's allow our people to meet in a comment section. What's your position? Do you think that statement made by Atiku Abubakar is political? And what's the possibility of merger between the two? Let's interact in our comment section. Thank you very much for staying.